Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic, and I'm here with my first monthly review video. I pick out my 5 favourite comics of the previous month and let you know why I thought they were the best, and then I'll throw in some honourable mentions for those that didn't quite make it but I want a quick word about. So I'm looking back at January's comics because January is all but gone. I survived it, even if David Bowie didn't. Let's crack on. My first top pick of January is Len Wein and Kelly Jones' Swamp Thing. It's a mini-series. This is issue 1 of 6, and you kind of have to wonder what the editors asked for when they approached Len Wein. I mean, I can see this kind of, I don't know, a boardroom. Len Wein comes in, the editors are going, right, okay, you remember Alan Moore did all this crazy psychedelic reimagining of like your original character. We've had Scott Snyder and Charles Soule do their take on him as well. We want you, the original, one of the original co-creators, to come back in and, you know, progress the story. And I could just imagine Len Wein going, screw that shit, I'm going back, pardon the pun, to my roots. And thank God he did. Really, he just ignores everything that Alan Moore, Charles Soule and Scott Snyder did, and he takes us back to the 70s in this gloriously nostalgic take on Swamp Thing. From the first page you are drawn right back into that Bayou swamp, and it's just fantastic. You get the Phantom Stranger in there giving his old kind of cryptic messages. There's some nice action with Swamp Thing taking down alligators, saving humans out of quicksand, and we have this kind of horrific scary kind of zombie ghoulish character that seems to have done Swamp Thing in good and proper, but the whole thing was just, oh, it just smelt of the 70s, whatever the 70s smell like. I was a little surprised at Kelly Jones's artwork and how kind of restrained it was. He's quite a kind of out there artist. He has got a particular style of his own. Maybe with this he wanted to channel the kind of art style of the 70s, because from the first page to the last page, whether it's how it's written or how it looks, this just feels like you've pulled it from a long box of like Bronze Age, early kind of, sorry, late Silver Age comics. It's beautiful. Please start picking this up. Moving on to the Twilight Children issue 4, where Hernandez and Cook wrap up their little mini-series, and we kind of hope for some answers about what the hell has been going on in this little quiet coastal village. Was it aliens? Who knows? And you know what? Who actually cares? Because it was just this lovely kind of slice of life, freaky, intriguing, delightful little tale. And, you know, it seemed to be that kind of true love saved the day. It was the hero of the day. The whole thing about this was gorgeous from start to finish. It had that kind of Spanish soap opera melodrama going behind it. You had this kind of almost X-Files type storyline with potentially aliens and FBI agents, and just mashed up together in this gorgeous Darwin Cook art. How could this not fail? How could I not fall in love with this? It was just perfect. It was the right length. You interpret the ending as you wish. You take it for what it is. It's your interpretation. I loved it. Pick this up when it comes out in a nice little glorious trade. You can flip through all the glorious pages, look at the delicious eye candy, and just scratch your head and make your own mind up about what the whole thing was about. East of West issue 24, and I have to say the last few issues have made for such a cracking read. It certainly feels with issue 24 that something is coming to a head. Hickman drops in on all of our major players as they are kind of summoned as chosen ones to a gathering by this kind of prophet type figure. And it's just, it's like, in turns, it's like deliciously gruesome. You have this horrific torture scene at the beginning of this, but then further down the line when we kind of meet back up with Death and his two fellow companions, it turns into this kind of beautifully fantastical fantasy kind of genre where, you know, you've got people turning from crows into a beautiful looking woman. We have this big strong man turning into a bear. And this title, I don't know what it is about it, but it is just grown and grown to greater and greater heights. Such a surprise for me because Hickman isn't my favourite writer, but whatever he's doing on East of West, he is doing it right, and I am hooked. And on to Black Science issue number 19. I said there was a lot of Remender in this week. Yes, issue 19. What a wonderful kind of character analysis of our kind of main protagonist Grant we've had in what we're now in the middle, part 3 of 5 of God World, where kind of through a series of flashbacks and Grant trying to kind of recall the memories and remember where he is, who he is, what he needs to be doing. Remender has done this thing that, you know, he's kind of explained kind of Grant's past, but also challenges the reader in that we think, right, is Grant actually a good character? Is he one of the good guys? Because he's not been a very nice guy. You know, he's cheated on his wife. He's kind of ignored his children for work. But has that been because of he's been this kind of product of his upbringing? He does seem to have come out the other side and run the gauntlet at the end of this issue and come out the other side hopefully a better man. He remembers who he is, he remembers what he needs to be doing. Just a great storyline that's kind of popped in along the way in Remender's sci-fi storyline. And I say it every time, but Scalera, Matteo Scalera, will you please stop being so damn good? I mean, some of the artwork on here, he's created some of the most amazing environments, the most imaginative kind of cityscapes, spaceships, plant life, creatures. They're all there, and you just can't help but look at them and see the detail and the thought behind it all. It's just a gorgeous book. It would have probably been my absolute favourite if it wasn't for what picked it at the post. So before I give you my top pick of January, I've got 5 books that I just want to have a quick chat about. Secret Wars 9 of 9, yes, it finally finished, and we discovered that this had actually all been one big final Fantastic Four storyline. It was a kind of glorious all-out finish, lots of excitement, lots of action. Probably needs to be read again to figure out if there is an answer in here as to why we are now where we are. I think there have been elements, and there's been talk about it on the old interwebs about how we've reached where we are, but satisfying ending as a Fantastic Four story could be. Moving on, Remender pops his head back up again. Deadly Class, issue 18. Don't you ever, ever, never, ever, ever, never let this comic die because it is fantastic. We continue on with this Die For Me storyline, which is our huge kind of final exam, battle royale. Everyone's out to kill each other with a very keen focus on bringing down Marcus. Love it! Love it, love it, love it! Sorry, he's back again. Remender on Tokyo Ghost, issue number 5. The serenity of the last couple of issues is well and truly over. Bring on the action, whether it's arrows flying here, there and everywhere, whether it's being mowed down by motorbikes, whether it's huge explosions, whether it is someone dead or not at the end of this issue. The shit has hit the fan. Pick this up. Finally, not finally, 2 more books before we get to the final one. Descender, Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. It's just one of the most beautiful looking books on the shelves right now. I adore this style that Dustin has created with this kind of fake canvas background, which it just looks like he's painted onto it, sketched over it, and created just a quite unique look at the future. For a sci-fi kind of storyline, it's a very strange use of this kind of art style, but I am a sucker for it. The previous issue to this, December's issue, was just drop jaw ground hit. This just continues it. I love the addition of Andy, Tim 21's kind of older human brother, being the one thing that he really doesn't want to catch up with. Gorgeous book. Finally, for being just crazy, stupid, raucous and funny, Weird World 2. This is just a crazy, good, fun, entertaining book. It's just mad. It's just completely mad, and I think it knows it's mad. And coupled with the gorgeous art of Del Mundo, this makes for a weird read, but it's fun, and that's what it's all about. So what was my pick of January? Well, it was a title that came to an end. It almost faded out, you could say. It is the Fade Out issue 12. Brubaker, Sean Murphy. They close what I believe has been their best work to date. It didn't just capture the kind of the glamour of the Hollywood lifestyle, but it wasn't afraid to show and highlight the kind of the dark, the seedy, the misogynistic, the racist underbelly of Hollywood of this time. With this issue, you know, Brubaker, I won't say he attempts to tie everything up, because the whole point of this story is that people don't really get the answers they want, or in fact that they feel they deserve. No one comes out at the end of this looking, you know, peachy and happy. No happy endings with the Fade Out, but it has been an amazing read, and just this is a book that I could well be double dipping into and picking up some nice, huge, big, deluxe hardback. The artwork, I don't know how Sean Phillips does it, I really don't. Every time, with whatever era he's doing, he finds a way to emote that particular time. It's like you can literally step into those panels and you will be there. There is no kind of pretension, there's no trying to be that place. It is that place. And that's just what's made this especially such a standout title. It's finished, but I recommend highly that you go seek this out, whether it's the singles, whether it's the trade, whether it's a big deluxe edition. And those were the comics that I enjoyed the most this week. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on any more of my videos. Hit the thumbs up button to let me know you like this video in particular, and down in the comments section below, how's about telling me what your favourite comic books were of January? Did you agree with my choices? I welcome all your comments. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you getting right to the end. Till next time, bye bye.